Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for attending today. I hope that you will get everything you need from this webinar. We have joining us today JJ from Oracle NetSuite, who's going to be taking you through the Field Services webinar. I'm Katie Grant. I'm from Fusion 5. I'm a sales exec here in New Zealand. And really looking forward to showing you this today. So there are still people joining us. I will kick off though, because I don't want to disturb your days too much. So I guess for us today is just before we kick off, who are we? We do have a number of current Fusion 5 clients attending this webinar using NetSuite, but we also do have others that are not Fusion 5 clients. So it's good to just let you know who we are. So a little bit about us. We are an Australasian business in Australia and New Zealand. We are an applications business, so we run multiple applications, not just NetSuite. There are a number of other applications, anywhere from HR through to BI reporting, etc. But we can cater for a number of things within your business as well: integration and automation, cloud infrastructure and security, data analytics, AI. And we also have a transform advisory team as well, who are there to help you if you're really not too sure of processes that you need to do. They can go and have a look at what you've got now and give you recommendations of how to move forward to gain what you need for your business. So we do have over 1,200 customers in New Zealand, Australia. We're not a small company. We have been around for 20 years, and we do have over 750 staff within our 9 office locations. Needless to say, we are a multi-award winner, not just with NetSuite, but with other applications as well. And our client base is always here to support. We like to partner with you. It's not about selling you something and then moving on. For us, it's about an ongoing relationship. So with that in mind, just a couple of housekeeping things today. Please do put any Q&A in the little chat messages to us. We will get to those. We will save those to the end of the webinar, just so we can allow JJ to go through the flow of the webinar without too many interruptions. But please do pop those in the chat if you have any questions. And along with if you're wanting to have this webinar available to any other staff, please do let us know. We're happy to provide links after this webinar also. So with that in mind, I am going to leave you now with JJ. JJ, are you there?
Hey, Katie, thank you. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Right. First of all, thanks Fusion 5 for inviting me to present Field Service Management. To everybody here, good morning. My name is John James. I am a Senior Solution Consultant here at Oracle NetSuite. I've been in the NetSuite ERP space for about 6 years. I've got about 15 years of ERP experience, both implementing and supporting, and now in the pre-sales perspective as well. So today I'll be taking you through the field service management. The agenda, we'll go through a quick overview, and then we'll get stuck into a demonstration, and then we'll wrap up with the out-of-the-box reporting and then Q&A. The typical challenges, what we see customers who do not have a fully automated field service management is, first of all, inefficiencies around having paper-based processes. Having a job created and then sending that out manually to a technician and then getting it pre-filled back in, all the inefficiency around paper-based process, which delays a lot of invoicing and getting accurate reporting as well. Secondly, visibility for the organization to see where the techs are, where my assets are, what my maintenance jobs are, which are in queue. Getting on top of it has always been an issue. And then finally, which inherently affects the growth of the business and also the profitability. And this is where field service comes in. So NetSuite Field Service Management is your one-stop shop for all your field service needs. It's an on-platform field service management. What that means is whatever you're going to see today is all in NetSuite. Whether you're going to schedule a resource or schedule a technician on site, or you would have any field mobility needs, such as giving a field tech a device to record photos and job updates. Asset management, having history of assets, of what's been happening on the job, inventory management, billing, on-time billing, and also reporting and analytics. Whatever you're going to see today is all on NetSuite, using NetSuite framework and using NetSuite database. Again, one unified database here. I'd love to show this just to show you that field service is part of the NetSuite ecosystem. So whatever demonstration which I'm going to show you today, whether it's going to be looking at a mobile UI or looking at a schedule board, an asset, it's all on NetSuite. So there's no integrations. Before I get into presentations, I just want to highlight certain concepts here. So whenever I refer to assets, so that means the item which a job is performed on. So let's say if I'm sending a technician to repair your air conditioner at home, so their aircon would be the asset. Cases would be the work orders or the service orders, which you would put it in NetSuite to schedule a job. Task is for the technician to do those specific jobs on the actual service order. And then finally, projects is where you would have profitability, how much you spent off the job, what's your time cost, what's your expense cost. Having the profitability comes onto your projects. Let's get into a demonstration. And what I'm going to show you today is schedule to fix. That is nothing but break fixes. Imagine that, let's say your service administrator gets a call from a customer saying, hey, I've got this issue with this inverter, and I just want some technician to come on site and fix this for me. So what you would essentially do is, right, the service admin will pull up the customer details in NetSuite, book a job, and then find a technician who would be available. Maybe I want to find a technician who's close by, and then assign the job to him. So that's the first thing which you're going to look at. So if you're familiar with NetSuite, what you're seeing here is a dashboard, and it's role specific. These KPIs here are all out of the box. So things like total number of closed cases, completed cases, open tasks, and any kind of escalated service orders. Again, it uses that NetSuite dashboards to give you those immediate reporting requirements. So let's go on with the story. So let's say Mr. Cobbler, who's my customer, who gave me a call and said, hey, I've got this issue. Can you send somebody on site? So I'm able to pull up the actual customer record from NetSuite. And then if I scroll down, I could see all the assets which the customer has bought from me. And I could see that there's a couple of inverters there, which he has bought from me. Let me open up one of the inverters here, because I'm sure he's talking about that, because he did give me the serial number of the actual asset. So I'm opening up the asset to look at the details of the asset. Yes, it's got the name, who the customer is, which site it belongs to, because maybe you may have, that customer might have multiple cafes across Victoria, and you want to know which site it is. So you're able to have the site address details, the actual geolocation of the asset, where it is pinpointing, and then some images here as well. Now, going on to the story here, so the customers requested us to, come and have a technician look on site. So first thing, let's go ahead and book a job. So while booking up a job, it's asking me certain details. What type of job is this? Is it going to be a service or an installation or a break fix? It is going to be a break fix. And then, as you can see, all the contact details, email details, all gets populated from the actual customer record. Yeah. And then once that's done, if I want to have any kind of information on the asset record, on the service order record, I'm able to put that here. Things like, this is going to be a T&M base because I really don't have any contracts with the customer. So it is a T&M job, and then I'm able to then choose a project on this. Project is nothing but billing rules. So this is going to be a T&M project because they don't really have any contracts with me. If the customer has any contracts, let's say a warranty on that particular asset, that would show up here. If it's going to be fixed price, you're also able to do that. And if it's just going to be warranty, as I just mentioned, you're able to even create warranties on the fly as well. But for now, let's stick to the scenario where it's an ad hoc job, T&M. I'm going to charge the customer to whatever it's going to happen. And then this is going to be a site visit because the customer has requested somebody to come on site. And this particular job requires a certain level of skills. So with the field service, you're able to set up skill matrices against your technicians. Some technicians may have certain certifications, and some technicians are equipped to do certain type of jobs. And you're able to put those against the employer record and have them show up here so that you're able to assign the right technician with the right skills on the job. And you can see there was 90 technicians available. The customer requested maybe around 1 o'clock. But the question here would be, John, I've got many technicians here. I don't know who's available. Where do I go and look at their availability? And that's where we're going to go ahead next. Before that, I want to put in some specific information for the technician so that when he's able to look at the job on his phone, he's able to have some remarks on it. So I'm going to say, make sure you use the rear entrance. Right. And that's it. Maybe till 2 o'clock. Time limit. Perfect. And now we have assigned the job and put it on, inform the technician on the task, what needs to be completed. So that's pretty much putting in a job, right? So what you've done is taken the customer request, created a job. Now we have to go and schedule and dispatch and assign the right technician on this. So for this, let's get into the schedule board. This is a scheduler. Typically, what I've seen customers use, how I've seen customers use this is they would have on the left side NetSuite and on the right side the schedule board to quickly look at the availability of your technicians. So let me walk you through what the schedule board is all about. See, on the left side, you're able to see all my technicians. So you can see some technicians who have a green on them. That means they're online. And you can see some technicians with red. It means that they're offline. So what shows them which is online and offline? If they have opened the app, then it means that they're online. If they have not opened the app, so that means they're offline. So that's how we get the tag from them. Also, you can be specific on which regions you want to show up here. So I've just got Victoria here, but you can have multiple regions, Australia, categorize your technicians, view your schedule board based on the region specific administrators you may have, or you want to just specifically pick up certain technicians for a job, you're able to filter that and have a look at that as well. For now, I'm showing you all the technicians in my Victoria region. From left to right here, this is the calendar view. So you can see that we are now on the 14th. This blue line here tells me the current time, which I'm right now on. It's about 10:17. So that's the line it's going to pull me through. You're also able to see this in different views: 7-day, 31-day, 15 days, 7 days, or even 1 day if you want to. So I'm going to still keep it at 7 days. Also, you can see a lot of different colors happening on these different tasks here. So it all means something. So currently, I have put it on the priority grouping. So the yellow ones is more medium, the blue ones are low, and the red ones are high. Also, I'm able to see this based on statuses of the actual job or task type or case type. what types of job is this? Is it a big fix or install, whatever it may be, right? And this color palette is completely configurable. You can configure it to suit what is relevant for your organization here. So moving on from here, what you see here is all the different jobs or tasks which are assigned for different technicians. Okay, and it also shows certain other parameters such as, you can see the red one there. What that means is that that's an overdue job. So it's been scheduled yesterday and nobody's actually completed the job. You can also see some of the grayed ones here, which means that that job has been completed. So you've got different statuses here where you're able to immediately look at where the job is, who's doing it, is it currently being worked on, is it overdue, gives you a quick overview of where your technicians are, what jobs they're at, what's their availability, all on inside NetSuite itself. Also, you can see at the bottom here, this is a live location of all your technicians. So if I'm just clicking on one of these here, it just takes me down here. And I could see the cobbler job, which is in Dandenong here. And I could see this technician who was very close by. Maybe he's the right technician for me to assign the job on. We'll see how we go. Also, next, the FSM is able to take the geo tag from the technicians every time they open the app. So that's how we get the geo tag on where they're at. On the right side here, I've got a lot of filters happening. So let me walk you through a couple of the filters here. The first one here is assigned tasks. So we're able to filter and look at tasks based on different parameters, whether it's region, type, skill level required. So let's say if it's requiring a level 1 skill level, then it shows all the jobs which require level 1 skill or level 2 skill or level 3 skill, right? If I scroll down here, you can see the people filters. So I'm able to see all the technicians who have level 1 skill. And it just pulls up all the technicians who have level 1 skill, right? And if I scroll down here, let me close this up here so that you can have a better view. You're also able to see all the unassigned tasks. So if you remember, we just created a job and we haven't really assigned it to somebody. So let's go ahead and take a job and assign it to a technician. How easy it is. It's a matter of just pulling something from here and dragging it. And you can drag multiple jobs also if you want. So I'm just dragging it to Paul here. Now, what you need to be mindful here is you can play with the scheduler, pull multiple jobs here, see the availability, how it's going to work with teams. And then if you're not happy with that, you can just refresh the page and it all goes back to the earlier states. So you're able to plan scenarios to see how the week would look ahead before even committing the jobs. Now, if you saw me, I just dragged this job here, right? I'm also able to extend the time or decrease the time, move the jobs between different technicians, all on my schedule board. So that's how easy it is to do that. Also, once you're happy with that, all you have to do is save this. And that commits whatever changes you have made for the particular task. And as you can see, that job is being assigned to Paul. Now, the next phase from here would be, how would Paul react to the job which has been assigned to him? Because he's on the road, he doesn't have any visibility on the scheduler, but how his day in the life would look like. So you would have pretty much Paul waking up in the morning and downloading all his jobs on his mobile phone. How would that look? So what I've done is I have a emulator here. So let me quickly bring this down so that you're able to see the emulator. So what you have here is a mobile emulator. So this is part of the field service management. This is what your field service techs would look at. This is not an app, so we are not dependent on Android or Apple. All you would require is a browser, and then you would just have a shortcut on your mobile device. So we are mobile agnostic. So you wouldn't have any issues of app updatings and so on and so forth. So you can see he can see all the list of tasks which has been assigned to him if he scrolls up and down. And as you can see there, that is the job which we had assigned him. And it shows me all the details of location where he needs to go to, and what the job is about, and what the equipment he needs to service on really quick view. A common question asked here is, John, what about I've got technician who goes to sites, deep in the mines, or can be places where there is no internet connectivity. So FSM also works without internet. So all you have to do in the morning when he moves away from his house, he just needs to download all his jobs and then goes to the site where there's no internet, captures all the information, and then comes back to the area where there's internet connectivity, and then everything gets loaded back into NetSuite, right? Now, if he's clicking on one of these things here, it will show you all the details of the job. So as you can see there, it's a site visit, the address, what equipment he's working on, what are the case details. And if he's going to click one of the addresses, it's able to show him that he is here. And then that's where he needs to get to. This works on your Apple Maps or Google Maps, whatever devices you're using, and then he can just go to the location from there. So scrolling down, let's go back to the job. Yep, that's the job. So once he goes on site, all he has to do is start the job. So he starts the job. And what I want to show you here on the schedule board is, as soon as he starts the job, you can actually see the status change on the schedule board. You see that small icon which says with the truck there? It means that he's actually not close to his job. See, I'm sitting here in a different location. So we've got geo tags where if the actual technician is not closer to the location, you're able to even identify that, well, has he really started the job at home and then not really come to the location. So you're able to have those geo fencing happen in NFSM. Scrolling down here, you've got a list of things which he needs to complete. Let me come to the time thing at the very end. For asset details. So asset details is where you're able to look at all the information about the assets here. Got who's the parent with the address, and you can have images, any extra information. Again, this uses NetSuite custom records and custom forms. So it's a matter of putting in another detail there and showing it up in the asset details here. History, very important. If let's say you're coming on to a job, a particular asset, but then that just keeps failing over and over and again, you're able to see the history of what's been happening on that particular asset, so that they can come in and say, well, you need to either replace the whole unit because there's no point in adding parts to it or keep doing the job on it. So you've got the access to all the historic information or the history of jobs which has been completed on the particular asset. Any kind of contact information. Again, he's just stuck outside at the customer place, wants to make a quick phone call. All the address and email information is right here. Also, you can see the red asterisk there. So you're able to make it mandatory certain information if you think that has to be filled for the field tech to complete the job. As you can see there, that's a red one. That means that the field tech has to complete the JSA to proceed further. So I go ahead and say, yep, I did wear my hat. Complete my safety checklist. Signature. That gets immediately recorded into NetSuite. all the information gets against the job, against the asset. So it's all there. Service assets. So this is history of information. So essentially, if you have, we also support multiple assets as well. So if you have a scenario where a technician goes on site, but he services multiple assets, you're able to look at all the history of serviced assets on the job itself. Scrolling down, so if you have any kind of maintenance job or which you need to complete before actually performing it, you're able to do that as well. So for example, I want to take like a before and after photo. So let's say a before photo, and after photo. You're able to attach photos here. Again, this gets recorded straight into NetSuite, and he records whether it's pass or fail and completes it all done. Checklist completed. Happy days. Now, if there is any kind of consumption for the technician from his van, you would have some parts, especially for this inverter, if he's changing kind of a filter on the actual job, he is able to consume stock right out of his mobile phone. So he goes inside and says, "Yep, I have consumed a filter," and it immediately shows his van stock availability. And you're also able to, if you have barcodes on your items, you're able to scan that as well. Common question here is, John, there's a lot of consumables. Can we have non-inventory items here as well? Absolutely, yes, you're able to do that. So once you're happy with that, he saves this. What happens is, at the back end of it, it automatically creates a NetSuite sales order. Imagine doing this manually after having a paperwork done, after he consumes the stock, then you bring it back in, and then you create a sales order. All this manual processes has been completely avoided because now we are automating that solution here. Now, as you can see that it's ready to be billed back to the customer if the billing rules apply to them. And the sales order number is automatically created, and that's there in NetSuite as well. Same thing for expenses. Uses the same expense rules in NetSuite. So he say this guy goes on site and has meals as well, and he could go ahead and put those expenses right here. Attach photos, and this creates an expense record in NetSuite. Imagine doing this manually, having multiple bills. Now this is just directly done from your phone, and it adheres to all the workflow rules which are there in NetSuite. And yeah, so if we filed expenses, if you have any additional photos, you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and complete the job and say, yep, all work done. And job completed. Now, for some reason, let's say you're going on site, technician goes on site, and the job is not over. He needs to come back. He also has the ability to add another task right from his phone. Need not call the service administrator. He can just go ahead, create another job. It can go through a workflow of approval, and then he can come on site again as well. Yep, that job's done. And then finally, we need to get signatures from the on-site supervisor. He gets that as well. His signature as well. Done. And that's done. So job's pretty much ready to be completed. You also have the option here to record time for your time bills. So this would create timesheets in NetSuite. So let's say he wants to capture labor. He started at this time, ended at, let's say 11 o'clock, and it automatically rounds up to the nearest digit. And this is a time bill. And now this can follow the same rules what you would have on your projects to be charged to the customer. And once he's done with everything, just completes the job. And that process, that particular job is completed. Now, if you go back and have a look at the schedule board here, which I'm going to go ahead and refresh. By the way, I'm just demonstrating, so that's why I'm refreshing it so often. The refresh happens automatically. Since I'm demonstrating really quickly, I'm just refreshing it. So you can see now that that particular job is now complete. So you could have same NetSuite native reminders to say, these are the jobs completed, which needs to be reviewed by the service admin. So the service admin can go ahead and look at the job just by looking at the schedule board. And as you can see there, that job is now closed, and all the records, so his sales order, the fulfillment, the expense reports, all gets recorded against the job. So you don't really need to go and find where these are all at. We do that for you. If there's any kind of photos which we've taken, that's all gets recorded against the asset, against the job. Time bills, which we just recorded, that's also has been created here. And if you can see here as well, you can that expense here, it's pending approval. Again, as you can see that it follows NetSuite's approval workflow. So let me go ahead and approve that as well really quickly, just to show you how it follows all native workflows in NetSuite. So that expense is now approved. As you can see there, it's all approved. Now, the next step from here would be sending a service report to the customer saying what has been done on the job. So you can go ahead and create a service report right from the job, and it will give you all the details of what's been performed on the job. It can be things around the JSA, or it can be the things around what parts have been consumed on it. And as you can see, all the details which have been captured on the mobile phone is now reflected on the service history. Photos, signatures, and it can be sent right out of NetSuite to your customer. Again, this is all using NetSuite's engine. So once you're happy with that, you can generate an invoice right from here. And based on the billing rules, it'll understand what needs to be billed to the customer, what needs to be not billed to the customer. So let's say it's a warranty job. You do not want to bill anything to the customer if it really covers the parts and labors there. So let's go ahead and invoice this. You don't need to go through the whole sales order process and fulfill that. That's all done at the back end for you. So all the service administrator would do is review the job, see all the details, and then go ahead and invoice this. And as you can see there, the item, expenses, labor, everything is now raised as an invoice to the customer. If I want to see the profitability on this, I could go ahead right here in the projects. This still uses basic projects. If you want to use project management, absolutely, we support everything here. So I'm just going to open up the projects here just to show you the profitability on this. As you can see there, for this particular job, what's the invoice, what's the expense, what's the fulfillment, and the total profit. So we're able to do all this automated in NetSuite without any integrations, without any external apps, all on platform. So to recap this, we went through this whole exercise of getting a request and booking a job, scheduling the technician on site using a schedule board, having geolocations of the asset, of the technician, and consuming, and the technician is able to do all the consumption, whether it's taking photos, putting time bills, consumption of what happens in the van. Everything gets transferred, captured, and transferred into NetSuite, and you were able to see that we were able to send out invoices and service report right out of NetSuite. Out of the box, from a reporting perspective, you get all these reports from day one. Again, it uses NetSuite Save, Searches, and Report Builder. So you're able to make your own reports as well. So what you saw today was more around the break fix scenario. The FFSM also supports installation. So let's say you're manufacturing something, but then you've got a technician going on site. You're able to capture that set of tasks to go on site and install and capture the information. We also support maintenance as well. So let's say you would have planned maintenance on assets. I know you would have a bi-monthly or yearly. You're able to set up those schedules, and automatically that comes up as a reminder for the service administrator to call up the customer and schedule jobs. So we're able to do that as well in FSM. To wrap things up, so what we saw was initially challenges, things around inefficiencies, relying on paper-based, but with the NetSuite, what you're able to have is that all-in-one mobile app, which is fully integrated into NetSuite and just minimizes the errors, and just working on this one unified platform. Visibility, having that one view for your entire team, a complete history on your assets and availability, which is going to improve the first time fix rates and build more stronger customer relationship. All this points down to growth, profitability, and operational excellence, and standardizing processes across your business. So that's it from me. I'm just going to open the floor for Q&A.
Thank you, JJ. That was fantastic. Is there if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it into our Q&A. More than happy to answer those questions for you. I do have a couple here for you already, JJ. In terms of the field service app, does it work better on mobile or tablet?
We support both. It just depends on your use case. So if it's going to be a longer list of, with my experience, so I've implemented and work with the field service. I've seen customers, it's just a personal preference, but I've seen customers who have got a long checklist, use an iPad, but just quick photos and just quick to-do list kind of scenarios, they would just have a phone.
Fantastic. And I've got a question for you. In terms of that, is there a health and safety check that you can run through as well?
Absolutely. So what you see there as checklists, those are just forms of NetSuite. So you can create your own forms and make it available as a part of your checklist for your mobile technician.
Brilliant. We have another question here. If we need to schedule a team to a site, do they all get assigned in the scheduler, and then the supervisor is the one to complete the task details?
That's an excellent question, by the way. First thing, you can assign multiple teams onto one job, definitely possible. You can get one technician to be like the main technician and complete the job, whereas others would just capture information. Things like when you go for a mining site, you would have a team go around and then they would just capture information, and just one technician who just closes the job. Or if your workflow is, well, you capture all the information and my service admin who's going to review it and close the job, you can do that as well. We support both.
Fantastic. I'm hoping this is answering all your questions well enough. Feel free to drop any more questions in. I do have another one here. Can the mobile technician generate the service report while in the field, or is that only accessible from within NetSuite?
At the moment, it's accessible from NetSuite, but if that's something which needs to happen, then we can definitely have a look in that for you.
Fantastic. Always the right answer there. Brilliant. Now I have a tongue twister for you. So sorry if I get this wrong. Does the history of serviced assets show assets that are worked on by other technicians?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you. I managed to twist that one out. Brilliant. Okay. If there's no other questions, then thank you so much, JJ, for your time. Thank you, all of those that have attended today. We will have a link to this webinar should you want to share it or just go back over anything in there. Of course, if you've got any questions or you'd like to look at this for the business, by all means, reach out to us. I'm certainly happy to help, but we also have a number of other people within Fusion 5 that can help you. But thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day. I hope it's not too cold where you are, like it is here. Thank you so much, everyone.